Hi, I'm Nick, and I like comics.
And I'm Adam, and I know comics.
Welcome to another episode of Adam and Nick Spoil Some Comics, where we spoil some comics.
So this week we're talking about Batman and Robin Eternal number 7. The script this time is written by Genevieve Valentine with pencils by Alvaro Martinez.
The issue opens up in Prague several years ago, where there's this crazy guy running around, and he's being chased by both Batman and Robin. Batman and Robin corner him, and Robin takes him down. He's talking some gibberish about, hey, I'm not going to tell Dr. Crane. I'm not going to talk to Dr. Crane about Batman. Not going to do it. And they take him out and subdue him and say, okay, we're going to call the police. And then Batman shows Robin his Prague Batcave.
The home away from home.
We jump to now, and Dick is in this Prague Batcave with Cassandra, Cain, and Harper Row. And they are looking for the orphan from the tracker device that... Was it Harper? It was Harper.
Shot on...
Shot on the orphan a couple issues ago. And they are looking for him. And the Batcave in Prague is very interesting.
It's very goth. I don't really know who they hired to decorate, but it's full of skeletons and skulls. And doesn't really seem their style. Usually they like giant dinosaurs, not the look of a catacombs under, what is it, Spain?
Or
whatever.
Wherever it is. So that's where this new Batcave is. And Harper and Dick are talking. Cassandra's just standing there because she doesn't talk. About Dick is looking for the orphan, tracking him here. And then Dick tells them that they need to look for the next person on their list, this prima ballerina that I'm not even going to try to pronounce her name.
Should we try?
You can try.
Serengeril Jalaire.
There you go.
Closest we're going to get.
There you go. And Dick tells the girls that they need to go to the ballet. Harper doesn't really like this plan. She thinks that the two girls should go with Dick as he looks for the orphan.
She wants to skip the ballerina part and go straight for hunting for the orphan. But Dick's like, well, we should probably split up our resources a little bit, make sure we're not putting all our eggs in one basket, that sort of thing.
Right. And then Dick opens up this wall, and you see the bat suit, two tuxedos, and a Robin suit.
That's cute. He pulls down the guy's jaw, and it clicks. And yeah.
Dick then offers Harper his tuxedo from when he was Robin and a little boy or something.
And she jumps in with this attitude, this pompous, but we can assume that your tux looks better on me. She's trying really hard to make us not like her.
She just seems like a spoiled brat.
For somebody who isn't used to having anything?
Yeah, who has nothing.
I'm so confused by her character.
Anyway, so the girls go off to the ballet, and Dick is now going to go try and track down the orphan. We then cut to Jason and Tim, who are flying in a Batwing to Gamora, wherever that is. And they're having this conversation, and Jason keeps on pressuring Tim. Hey, man, what was it like to punch Dick? What was it like? I need you to tell me what it was like to punch Dick, which that happened in issue number 5, at the end of issue number 5. Right. And the reason that they are in Gamora is...
trying to hunt down whatever it was that was blocking the communications between issues 3 and 4, I believe, when they were back at Bruce Wayne's banquet and he got attacked, and Red Robin was trying to figure out and get in there, but there was some sort of communications blocking him. So they're following that lead. I think this is absolutely separate from what Dick's doing. He didn't send them on this mission, if I remember right.
No, we don't even know why they are there. We were actually talking about this. Why are these guys here? And it's in this panel right here where it shows that they're in Gamora. Tim says, my lead was right. Scanners caught the same electronic interference as the Gotham Party when Mother's agents were activated. Very specific modulation. Pretty narrow band of influence. So what he's saying is...
Tech mumbo for, I'm in the right spot.
Basically. Tim doesn't know where to look. Jason says, hey, there's a bar. Let's go to a bar. So that's what the two guys do. They continue to talk. Jason's like, dude, what was it like to punch Dick? Tell me. As they keep on having this conversation back and forth, Jason looks over his shoulder and notices some sketchy guys playing poker.
He makes a pretty astute observation. These guys probably have something to do with the black market, saying something along the lines of, you know, the kind of guy who spends enough time in bars to recognize black market pros when he sees them.
Right. So then Jason and Tim transform into their suits.
Like magic,
right.
Instantly. And chuck that guy out the back doors, looks like.
And they so got any questions for this guy? So they're going to rough him up a little bit and try to get some answers. We then cut back to Prague several years ago, whenever Bruce Wayne is talking to some other rich guy.
Rich guys.
Yeah, rich guys are the worst. And says... And he's trying to get a hold of the mother. He's like, hey, I can give her a substantial donation. I can give her some money. And this old guy's like, no. that won't buy you anything with the mother. What she really wants, she really likes beauty. So you need to go check out this ballet.
Just gotta cut in here as we're jumping back into the present time again. We keep bouncing back and forth so much, I'm getting a little bit of a head spin here.
Little vertigo?
A little vertigo or something, yeah, from all this time jumping. My goodness.
So Dick is running around looking for the orphan. Cassandra Cain has stolen a little black dress. Her and Harper are now
I
going.
think Harper stole it.
Well,
actually,
okay, whatever.
it makes a difference.
Yeah.
She's the assassin. Harper's the orphan who steals stuff.
Okay, very good. So then we go inside of the ballet, and there's this old woman talking to the prima ballerina who, we can't.
Serengarel.
Sure,
Getting closer,
whatever her name
probably.
is. She's continuing to talk to us like, hey, you're going to do a great job. You're going to do a great job. And then this old woman gets a phone call. She looks at her phone and it says, please, mother, not yet. So this lady is in on the cahoots of what's going on with the mother. We then next get this beautiful 2-panel spread of the girls watching the ballet. And do you want to chat about that for a second?
Well, it looks like it's kind of an analogy for what's going on with a good chunk of this story. These characters are taken and then put into a sleep mode and then come back out as something deemed beautiful, whether that's an assassin of some sort or a perfect woman to be married off. But anyway, it's a good analogy for that with the Sleeping Beauty story here.
Right. And the whole time it really focuses on Cassandra's face, and she's in shock and awe at first, and then it seems that she's getting very upset and agitated as the entire thing continues to go on. At intermission time, Harper calls Dick, and Dick's like, hey, I kind of lost the signal to the orphan. I'm going to keep on looking. You guys stay there.
He specifically wants them to make sure they stay close to that prima, make sure that she's safe, that they're safe, that everything is under wraps. While he's checking out this lead still.
Next, we cut backstage, and this older woman is talking to the prima ballerina, and she hands her a phone. The ballerina says, you told me never to answer the phone. And she says, well, you need to take this phone call. So she puts the phone up to her ear, and she says, hello, mother. So now whatever switch that was off in her head has now been flicked on. Dick has lost the transmission for the orphan, so he's looking around for it. He does some little techie stuff, and then he finds a location, and he jumps off a building.
Because he's Dick Grayson, and he keeps jumping off buildings.
He's not Spider-Man.
Nope.
As the ballet has now started again, Harper is talking to Dick and say, hey, we're missing communication. I can't hear you. What's going on? And then there's this scene where the ballerina and Cassandra are giving each other some looks.
Yeah, they lock eyes, and Cassandra Cain realizes mother. Right. I mean, the only thing she ever says.
Right. She's spoken twice in this entire series, and both times she said mother. We then cut to Dick, who it looks like he is in an old theater, or maybe not an old theater, but an empty theater. There's lots of backdrops hanging around, and he finds the tracking device that was locked in on the orphan.
At which point he realizes this is all probably a trap, and he starts yelling for Harper, but she's not receiving the transmission.
Right. Harper can't get a hold of Dick. There's these problems. And then the ballerina pulls little knife spears out of her crown.
Right.
And Harper tries to talk in her comms and says, Dick, she's on to us.
Surprise, surprise, it's all a trap.
Right. And then all of the ballerinas jump off stage to try and kill Cassandra and Harper. We then cut to Dick, who is in this empty theater. And he's like, Harper, are you there? Harper, are you there? And he hears, hello, Dick. Turns around and there's the mother, and she says, nice to see you again.
So this issue jumps around a lot. Not just back and forth in time, but also between what's happening in the present. So it's kind of rough to piece it all together, I think. But if you put it all together really quickly, it's actually a very short story, I think, is kind of common for these weekly issues. That being said, it's an okay issue. I mean, it gets us going. We're still asking questions, still answering a couple. But honestly, with how I feel about this one, is this very, very much exactly what was said in the last issue, where she's like, oh, they're coming, but, I'm prepared for them. This is just a long form way of saying that again. Like, she set the trap, it all happened, but we saw it coming. It wasn't really like a springing on us like they've been trying to do with the last page of every issue has been another like moment. But this one was like, oh, we saw that one coming.
I think that this is really hard with these weekly series, is to get a real true tone and voice and all of that stuff, because you have different writers for it.
Right.
And that's why it's so up and down. We equate this a lot to television shows. If you ever watch the show Arrow, it seems that this happens a ton, where you have a fantastic episode one week, and then the next week, you're like, last week was so awesome. What just happened? And I think it's because you have these writers that are shifting and changing and going in and out. But with that said, I enjoyed the issue. I mean, it definitely wasn't the best. I like to see where they're going with this. Yes, at the end of the last issue, Mother said, "Oh, I got them where I want them. It's a trap, whatever." But it's nice for us to be able to see that out and see how it plays out.
That's true too.
And I'm also very interested in the relation that Dick has with Mother, because obviously he has forgotten something, or he's just being like Batman and very secretive and not saying anything, which is a common theme through this thing.
It is
Dick becoming Batman. Overall, I will give this a 3.5 out of 5 bat symbols. Like I said, okay issue, good issue. I enjoyed it, but definitely lagging from issue number 6.
I would give this one 2.5 Robin symbols out of 5. It's a solid issue. Like it keeps us going. But I wouldn't say it's amazing. Like the last one was very good. This one was just okay.
Very good. Very good. So overall, that is a 6 out of 10. So still in the good range. Definitely check it out, especially if you like these weekly titles and that kind of stuff. It's really good. And again, we can see it's building somewhere awesome. And I think the last 6 to 8 issues of this are just going to be fantastic. Like the last couple months of this run is going to be awesome, but it's just kind of getting us there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Season finales, that type of thing. We'll get
Right.
there.
We'll get there. Did you know that this last week, Adam and I were on a podcast?
We had to use Google Hangout to video podcast in with some guys from various states. I can't even remember where all from. And these guys are pretty cool. All nice beards. We had a good talk.
Yeah. It is the Gotham Central podcast. So make sure you check them out and you can hear our lovely voices. Where,
Just a little.
well, a little bit, yeah. Where we might talk about George Clooney's Batman's nipples.
And Burt Ward's amazing Robin suit.
Very good.
With
So anyway, there's going to be a link below in the description if you want to check that kind of thing out. So make sure that you connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We like talking about all things comic books all the time. So make sure you hit us up and ask us any questions. So also today is New Comic Book Day, so
Go buy something.
yeah, do it.
Don't just flip through the pages. They don't like that. Buy it.
Right. So, and until next time, we're just going to be waiting here until issue number 8 comes out.
And watching Jessica Jones. It's really good.
It is really good. So do that too.
Yeah.
Bye.